Call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. Russell Byerly, Chair, present.
Christy Evans, Vice Chair.
Brand Wilbur at large.
This Garcia at large.
Fantastic. We have a quorum. Next, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is general public comment. Do we have any general public comment in chambers? Yes, you can say whatever you want for 3 minutes, Joe.
Joe Childs for the record. I want to let everybody know, if you haven't seen it already, that Flyer Ranch is having a kind of an open house this weekend. As usual, Will and Crimson will be doing a labyrinth walk at the ranch portion of the property from 2 to 3. They do that just about every Sunday. But this weekend, Matt Sunquist, the director, is going to be showing folks the garden that's been growing out there. I don't know if any of y'all have had any of the vegetables out there, but there are likely some vegetables to be had. They'll be doing that from 3 to 3:30, and then go down to the Wallapai where the 97 event was held and see some of the art, or see 2 new pieces of art that were installed over the past weekend. 2 really cool chunks of art that some artists they brought from Black Rock City. And from there, go up to the geyser and do a little community soak if anyone's interested. That'll be, again, 2 to 3 for the labyrinth, 3 to 3:30 for the garden, 4 to 5 for the Wallapai, and then 5 o'clock till probably 7 for the soak. Everyone's welcome. Bring a bathing suit, bring a towel, and come have some fun.
Wonderful. Thank you. We're going to pause for a moment while we figure out our timer here, our public comment timer. Fantastic. Can you push down to reset it? Okay, great. Do we have any other public comment in chambers? Okay, seeing none, do we have any public comment online?
I see David Snellgrove has his hand raised.
The chair recognizes David Snellgrove.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Dave Snellgrove, I wanted to give a little public comment. I've got the development code amendment item that I'll present tonight, and I'm also working on the Iverson Ranch special use permit. When I talked to Russell, I talked about trying to be able to do both tonight. Everyone from the team and all the experts on a lot of the things that I'm not as familiar with on the project, everyone is traveling. I'm traveling too, but I happen to be in cell phone range and connectivity. So information on that, if you do want to go, you can search. If you haven't seen the application or want to find out more about it, you can go search for Washoe County current applications and hit District 5. The Iverson Ranch special use permit is in there. I reached out to Chris Bronsick, he's the planner working on it, and I noted to him that the link to get to the application is not active. So hopefully by tomorrow he'll have that activated if anyone wants to go online and look at that. But I just wanted to make sure that I covered that aspect of it, and then I will give the presentation on the development code amendment later in the agenda.
Wonderful. Thank you. Do we have any other public comment online?
Seeing no one.
Wonderful. And Candy's not with us today. Who is joining us from the communications division?
Oh, sorry. This is Casey McDonald, for the record, filling in for Candy while she is in Australia. Australia.
Oh, fantastic. If you're going to leave, you should leave. Just keep going. Okay, moving on. Next is the approval of the minutes of the meeting of September 11th of 2025. Would we like a minute to review those before I hear a motion? Any public comment on the minutes of September 11th, 2025? Seeing none, any comment online?
Sorry, no comment online.
Okay, in that case, I'll hear a motion to approve the minutes.
I motion to approve the minutes of September 11th.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously.
And who was the second?
The second was Shotzi Gambrell.
Thank you.
Next, we have public safety updates.
I see Chief Edwards, and I also see John Ray Hassan as well for Royal Ambulance.
We have deputy here in chambers.
Oh, sorry.
Hello. Good evening. Jackson Cruz, Washoe County Sheriff's Office. I don't have anything particular to report. Most of you probably know what I've been up to in the last couple weeks or so. As always, our door is open. So give me a call, stop by the sub, flag me down on the street, talk after the meeting if you'd like. I'll take questions if there are any.
What have you been up to for the last couple weeks? Because I'm dying to know. I don't know.
Oh, we've had a couple calls for service in town. But for the most part, it's been, thankfully mellow. Yeah. All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want Fire Chief Edwards or did you want Mr. Hassan?
Surprise me.
Well, Edwards has his hand raised, so we'll go to him.
Fantastic.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Edwards. I'm the new fire chief of the Truckee Meadows Fire Protection District. And I'm just trying to make my way around to all the different cabs to introduce myself and see if there's any questions for me. I come to the area from the city of Stockton, where I served for 25 and a half years, the last 5.5 years as fire chief. And I've been up here in Truckee Meadows now since July 1st. So super excited to be up here. A lot of the challenges that experienced down in the valley, being able to apply to this new role to help find some new efficiencies in our budget and dispatch and just regional partnerships. So looking forward to working with everybody and the Gerlach volunteers, and happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions from the board? Christy?
Christy Evans. Hi, Chief Edwards. I just want to invite you to come visit Gerlach. We would love to see you up here so you can get a feel for our town and so that we could meet you. So that's all I had.
That would be great. Yeah, I look forward to coming up there and meeting everybody and getting a lay of the land.
Any other questions from the board? Questions from the public? Actually, I've had an excellent suggestion from the Peanut Gallery. We have our annual chili cook-off tomorrow. If you're not busy, you should come check it out. I believe we start serving at 4. Is that correct? Doors at 4. Yeah, should
All
you
right,
find yourself in the neighborhood?
I'll check the calendar and see what I can do.
It is not tomorrow. It is Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I will not be able to make it on Saturday. My oldest is having a baby shower as we're going to become grandparents. So very
Well,
excited.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, do come see us when you get a chance.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is Hassan.
Good evening, everybody. Once again, apologies for not being up there in person this month. Had every intention to today, and stuff just went sideways. Few updates on our Gerlach EMS operations. We have run 49 calls now, 49 incidents since we began operations in July 1st, consistently seeing 1 to 2 responses or incidents a week in the region. About 20% of those resulting in ground transports, and the balance being either treat and release or some other form of disposition. Continue to be fully staffed. We've had 0 out of service or 0 brownout times really since the end of July at this point. Month of September definitely brought a different pace. We're getting excited for the fall and winter. To that end, over the next month or so, you'll likely be seeing some slight changes in our uniforms as we move out of t-shirts as it starts to get cooler here. In terms of who our team is tonight, you've got James, one of our EMTs, and Monica, one of our paramedics, on duty, and they're with you at the community center. I did send out to cab members, sort of to our mailing list, for lack of better terms, a meet the Gerlach EMS team. So if you haven't seen that, glad to share that out as well, but try to just provide you with a little bit of information and background and put names to faces on the 3 full-time EMTs and 3 full-time paramedics who serve Gerlach. Everyone's been having a good time and continuing to just work through stuff as it comes up. To that end, the physical medic 83 ambulance, so the red and white Gerlach volunteer fire ambulance, has had some substantial mechanical challenges, both from air conditioning and during a recent ambulance transport, broke down on the crew on their way back from Reno, which resulted in them sort of spending a night in Reno and having to get an Uber back up the next day to get into a backup ambulance. Working with the county and Dave Solara to discuss what some sort of replacement for that looks like, simply because, especially as we get into the winter, just concerned about its reliability, and at this point, its age. So right now we're operating in the backup ambulance, Medic 183 Big Blue, which is older but continues to actually run relatively well, all things considered. We've had the opportunity over the past month to participate in several drills. Participated in the Gerlach High School lockdown drill with the sheriff's office, and then also the ability to tour the Holcroft mine, as well as one of the power plants nearby, and a couple of other sort of high visibility sites. So continuing to do our best to get our crews oriented to the region and putting together our own sort of local resources guide. Beyond that, things are going well. I know Monica and James are excited to participate in the chili cook-off on Saturday, and look forward to being up there with you guys soon. I'll answer any questions.
Wonderful. One question, are we still expecting a budget cliff on December 1st, or have we figured out what we're going to do about that?
Great question. Conversations with the county have indicated they are likely going to present a plan to the Board of Supervisors to bridge that budget gap. And we did share an amendment with them that would accomplish that.
Do you know when we're trying to agendize that for the county commissioners?
I do not.
Wonderful. That's all I had. Any questions? Christy?
Hi, John Ray, Christy Evans. You mentioned you sent something out about a meet the EMTs, and we all looked at each other and said, well, did you get it? No, we're shaking our heads. So if you could double check where you sent that, we'd love to know about it.
I got it.
Oh, I see how it is.
All of the important people.
I promise I'm not trying to exclude you. I will gladly, I'll get that sent out, and feel free to share it.
Any other questions from the board? Shotzi?
Shotzi, your mic is muted. I can't hear you, unfortunately.
Let's try this one. Better?
There we go.
Awesome. So you mentioned that they broke down and had to spend the night in town and get an Uber. And I can only say this for myself. I'm up very early in the morning, and I would not mind driving in to pick you guys up so you don't have to spend that kind of money. And I suspect when word gets out to the community, there'll be another list of people. And we often have people coming back from Reno, and we're willing to pick up people, train station, bus station, whatever we need to do. So think about that. Let me know if you want me to put a list together. Okay? That's all I got.
That means a lot, and fingers crossed that we don't have an ambulance that starts smoking in Reno again.
Great. Luis Garcia?
Luis Garcia for the record. So with kind of the same subject of the ambulance, to at least to my knowledge, you guys spent, some time redoing the insides of those ambulances. So if that vehicle does end up getting retired, is that something that transports to a new ambulance? How does that work with just having, potentially one, given our history with the county and their, sources of funds? What would that, realistically look like if we found ourselves in a situation with just one working vehicle?
I think if you find yourself in a solution with a single working ambulance, we will of course pull the equipment and resources that we put out of one and put that aside for a second future ambulance. I think we can get creative here, even with some of the county's budget constraints. There may be opportunities for us to work with the county and explore some solutions, simply because we have 140 ambulances in our fleet, and on a temporary basis, certainly we can likely shuttle an additional ambulance up here, as we did before the 2 Gerlach ambulances were on our permit. But as I've had conversations with the county over the past couple of weeks, I do think we have to start looking at what a replacement unit would look like, and if nothing else, hope to be able to extend our pricing and our dealer relationships to the county to do that at the most economical possible manner that also still provides a quality and appropriate vehicle for Gerlach.
Ray, you're the best. Thank you. You always give very clear and concise answers, and I appreciate that about you.
No more questions from the board. Do we have questions from the public? Seeing none in chambers, do we have any online?
I see none online.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item, and along the same vein, is a community update on fire service to Gerlach Empire. That comes from me. I'm going to switch hats here. As the vice president of the Gerlach Volunteer Fire Department, I am currently Gerlach's active fire department. I'm the only person who has managed to forward all my certs to Truckee Meadows and cleared the physical, but there should be one more in 2 or 3 weeks, and then I think another one 2 or 3 weeks after that. Once there are 2 of us, we can start responding to calls, and we won't have to wait for someone to come all the way from Nixon if there's a fire in the area. So we're halfway there. Fingers crossed. Be very conscious of fire safety for the next month or so. Then after that, we should be back in business. Do we have any questions or comments on that? Yes, Luis Garcia.
Garcia for the record. So once this other person, beautiful angel, that is going to help you, and you guys can start responding to calls, does that lead us to the potential of training new potential volunteers?
Absolutely. Excellent question. The Gerlach Fire Department is going to be under the supervision of Truckee Meadows Fire Prevention District, and they have their own volunteer program. And if you're interested in volunteering, you can begin by going to their website and filling out an application. They start with a live scan to make sure you are who you say you are and you don't have some sort of sordid past. Then after that's some mind-numbing online training that takes about 8 hours. And then you do a physical, and then you begin your training. So it's really very straightforward.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that information.
You're welcome. If anyone would like to volunteer, please speak to me about it. I'd be happy to get you started. No more questions in chambers? Anybody online?
No one online I'm seeing.
Fantastic. On to item 7, community input on microgrid fundraising. Is Mr. Beffert with us online?
Yes, he is. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, everyone. For the record, my name is Brian Beffert. I am Sustainability Manager for Washoe County. Just here to give an update, 2 updates on 2 different aspects of Gerlach's journey toward energy independence. For the first, I just checked GoFundMe a little while ago, and you currently have $2,548 in donations, some from people in the room. Thank you very much. Some of these are recurring donations, so it's great that the platform's there. And you add to that the $17,000 check that arrived in the mailbox for the GID. You have, I'm sorry, the math, 19,500 and some odd. And then if you add that to the $23,889 that's still sitting in our account from the Energizing Rural Communities Prize, Gerlach has $43,437 and change that you can spend on a microgrid. And I think you want to build it on your community center. So that's pretty exciting. In addition, I hear there's additional ARPA funds for more energy efficient windows and doors and possibly a heat pump. And so, holy cow, things might get shiny, spanking, and new and energy efficient and climate resilient before too long. Any questions or comments on that one?
Any questions or comments from the board? We have general applause in a general sense. No
Okay.
questions or comments from the public.
Perfect.
I'm seeing none.
I got my hand
Okay.
up.
Oh, go Pete. Sorry.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you, Pete. Yes.
Oh, hey, Brian, how's it going? Two questions on this. One, what is the targeted size of this PV array? And the other question is, are you looking at battery storage as well? And if so, do you have a ballpark on that size? I'm just trying to understand the scope of the project a little bit better.
Russell, this might be best for you, although I can take an initial stab. We've only talked generally about moving forward with this. We have not dived into an assessment of the energy load. One thing we want to do is assess how much the energy load will be after those energy efficiency upgrades come, so you don't have to oversize the system. And yes, I think it sure would be great to put battery backup. That's the whole point, to have power there for when the power goes out. And so all of that is still to be determined. And I look forward to working with the GID and other interested folks to design that system.
Yes, I agree completely, Brian. I think our goal was to begin fundraising before we started pricing out what kind of system we could afford. If not for the kindness of some recent donors, we'd be looking at a much smaller system than we're likely to end up with now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, any other questions?
Casey, any other questions online?
No, I see none online.
So moving to the second update, in partnership with the GID and the CAB, we've been successful in receiving a $295,000 subcontract award from the National Renewable Energy Lab for a project called CMAP, the Community Microgrid Assistance Partnership. And I'm currently working through the paperwork and the agenda approval for that award. And I think, well, if all goes well, it will be on the Board of County Commissioner agenda on October 21st. If not, it'll be the next meeting. But we're moving forward. And like I said, $295,000. And in that mix is $30,000 of technical assistance from NREL. So that's good. They'll help us do things right. And so next step is to put together a request for proposals to develop design schematics and a funding plan for 50 acres that the GID owns on the west side of town. Don't have any details about that, but it is definitely enough space to provide more energy than the town uses. And if we can design it right, especially on the contract level, there's a possibility we could generate some income for the town of Gerlach. If there are expenses that you'd like to spend it on, that's your decision. But if whatever I can do to help you build that system, that would be fantastic. And that's all I know. And to answer Pete's questions from the first one, don't really have an estimate on the size. We really need to see what might be allowed, just given governance and contract negotiations with utilities and things like that. Also, it's pretty squishy land out there on the lower end of 1, maybe 2 playas. And so what we're able to build really is partly dependent on the terrain and the conditions of that terrain. And yes, batteries might be a great idea to include as well. That's all part of the scoping and learning as we move forward with this project.
Wonderful. If we do get on the agenda for the 21st, I'm going to have to leave that in your capable hands. I'll be in Anchorage at the CMAP orientation conference, so I won't be able to zoom in. What do you think our chances are?
Oh, chances are, I think, strong that will be accepted, right? Absolutely. I can't imagine our Board of County Commissioners turning down $300,000 to improve conditions and lower energy costs and meet our net energy goals and all of that stuff. So I think chances are strong, but I can't speak for the board.
What do you think our chances are of actually getting on for the 21st as opposed to a later date?
I see what you're saying. I think we're at a solid 60% chance.
I will take those odds. Those are betting odds.
And I will know more by Monday. So I'm uploading our staff report to the system tomorrow. Fingers crossed it'll get its approvals. It has to be approved by close of business Tuesday to be on our agenda announcement on Wednesday.
Wonderful. Are there any other questions from the board? Christy?
Christy Evans. Brian, I just want to thank you so much for keeping us informed and for all your work. This is just really exciting to keep talking about this and see forward progress.
Christy, thank you. And amid all of the ups and downsy news of the day, it's great to be able to work on this project. And I am looking forward to eating 3-phase pizza at some point in the near future.
Any more questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, do we have comments from the public? Seeing none, do we have comments online?
I see none online.
Well, fantastic. Thank you very much, Brian.
Absolutely. And I'll keep you.
Did we lose just Brian or did we lose everyone? There you are.
We're back.
Fantastic. Okay, moving on to the next item. We have item 8, High Desert Development Code Amendment. Mr. Snellgrove?
Hi, for the record, Dave Snellgrove. I'm the team lead for planning here at the Reno office of Bowman Consulting Group. And I'll go ahead and share my screen. Oh, sharing's not turned on, so I'll send a request.
Should be able to share.
Okay, fantastic. Get to the right thing and do it as a slideshow. This is the same presentation I gave. There are some members in the audience. I know Pete, who was online, he was at the workshop. This is the same presentation I gave at a workshop meeting. Let me find slideshow. And from the beginning. Okay. So it's an amendment to the text portion of the High Desert Area Plan. My name is Dave Snellgrove. My phone number's here if anyone has any questions after the fact. Also, too, I mentioned during the public comment session that I'm working on the Iverson Ranch SUP. If you have any questions about that, feel free to call. The applicable area is really all of the high desert area, and the only area that would be affected are the GR zone portions, which is a vast majority of the high desert area. kind of became known to me. It was interesting. I just wanted to figure out how big the area was. So the whole high desert area is 4,408 square miles. And out of curiosity, I wanted to see what our smallest states were. So you can fit all of Delaware and all of Rhode Island in the high desert area. I didn't know that before I started working on this presentation. So something I learned. I know that there won't be any people in all likelihood from the North Valleys of Warm Springs, Truckee Canyon area. When this first got sent out, it got sent out to all of District 5. So we had some calls from those areas, and it's not applicable. This is only tied in with the high desert area. So all the areas in blue are areas that are shaded within the high desert area that are general rural zone. So it's quite an expansive area. This request came about because what we're working on with the Iverson Ranch, they have a limitation. Basically, they can have 8 units on the site. You could have multiple people in a unit, but it had a limiting factor to their overall desired plans out there. So in order for us to get past that, we either needed to do a specific plan or do a development code amendment, which this was discussed before I got involved with the job with the Iverson Ranch team and staff. And staff recommended that this would probably be a good way and have some good justification, not only in helping what the Iverson Ranch is trying to accomplish, but other uses that are out there that are as remote, if not potentially more remote, allow them appropriate employee housing. So what we're adding is just a text line. We're borrowing the language that exists in the allowed uses right now for company towns, bunkhouses, permanent employee housing in excess of the allowed GR density. That's 1 per 40 acres. The safety net that we have on this is it's not just allowed by right. It would have to go through a special use permit. So it would have to go for neighborhood meeting. I would anticipate that they would also come to the CAB and then go on to Planning Commission. If appealed, it would go on to County Board of Commissioners, but a special use permit could obtain approval at Planning Commission or Board of Adjustment, whichever the county staff decides is the appropriate board. We basically borrowed that language of company towns, bunkhouses, permanent employee housing directly from the high desert modifiers, which that's an allowed use, but it does have a max cap of whatever the underlying zoning is, which in GR is 1 dwelling unit per 40 acres. So if you had an 80-acre parcel, you could get 2 units on it. Iverson Ranch has 320 acres of land. They can get a total of 8 units. And as I said, they could have multiple people sleeping in a unit. But if you had 1 unit with 1 person, that still counts the same as 1 unit with 3 people. So they do have anticipation that they would go above that, and they need the added flexibility, and that's what this is trying to accomplish. There's the blow up of the language. So showed that before. That's our proposed language. I talked to Chris Bronsick this morning, and they will probably have a max limitation. 1 dwelling unit per 5 acre already exists in the master plan for the high desert area or the area plan. I think staff is probably going to lean towards setting a max at that and recommending that to the Planning Commission, the County Board of Commissioners. The review. Planning Commission, County Board of Commissioners may very well go with a different max density, but it sounds like that's probably what staff's going to recommend at this point. We feel that the benefits that come out of this are allowing for employees to the necessary level in these remotely located businesses, reduce vehicle miles traveled. You won't have people having to drive back and forth. I know there's already a housing shortage in the Gerlach area, so not exacerbating that. Reduces wear and tear on county roads and can provide seasonal or year-round employee housing, and provides reasonable flexibility with appropriate safeguards. Again, point out an SUP would be required if you wanted to exceed the general rural thresholds of density. And that is the end of my presentation. I'm available for any questions you may have.
Yes, Russell Byerly for the record. When we spoke about this previously, you had said there would be a remoteness test to qualify for this waiver. Is that something that's made it into this version?
Yeah, and that's something we didn't have anything in there, but it probably makes some sense. That would be something along the lines of a performance standard. I'll go back to map here. So let's say you were directly outside. You were happen to be GR and you're right outside of Gerlach. It may or may not be appropriate there. It may be something that's reserved for a little farther out, or you have to meet a minimum distance. Chris and I did not talk about that this morning. We have another meeting tomorrow, but that's something that I can address and discuss with him if there's some minimum remoteness that it may be applicable to.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? No? Questions from the public? Seeing none, do we have any questions online?
I see no online.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate reaching out to you guys and trying to get this in more ears of people out there. We had about 6, I think, on the workshop. I'm not sure how many are in attendance in the audience, but just trying to make sure that we can say, yeah, we have done appropriate outreach for this as best we could.
Yes, wonderful. Do you have any idea when the Planning Commission is going to see this?
Yeah, I believe that both this and the Iveson Ranch SUP will both be scheduled for the November 4th Planning Commission hearing. Iveson Ranch, being a special use permit, can get approval just at Planning Commission. The Development Code Amendment automatically has to go on to County Board of Commissioners for final decision. That'll probably be sometime in December. Don't know what's going to happen with holidays, but it could be in early January too.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for dropping by.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't be out there in person. I always enjoy coming out when I do have the chance. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on. Next is item 9, Neighborhood Development Hub and other engagement opportunities.
Awesome. Okay, Casey McDonald for the record. Let me see. I pulled up a few things. Okay, we can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you. It's getting out of the way. Okay. So for Neighborhood Development Hub, there is a project that I think just got announced recently is the Reno SOI Rollback Regional Plan Conformance Amendments Neighborhood Meeting. That's going to be on October 20th, and it looks like it's going to affect 40 parcels throughout the county. It looks like we're bringing them from City of Reno into the county, if I understand it correctly. And then for board and commission openings, we do have a law library board of trustees opening. So if you're interested in that as well, you can go ahead and apply for that. Other than that, any questions?
No questions from the board. Questions from the public? No, seeing none. Anyone online?
Can't see on. No.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Next, we have a standing item for report on requests for service from previous cab meetings, and I don't know if you have anything for that. I have nothing.
I know there was an email Candy had sent. I could pull it up if you want, or
That was just following up on some of the concerns people had from the last meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are all still in progress. Nothing has really been resolved yet at this point.
Then I've heard nothing.
Okay. I'm glad we're all on even footing there. Okay. Any questions or comments on that non-item? No, probably not. Seeing none. Unless you have anything online, we'll go ahead and move on to commissioner and board member items. I don't have
Nothing
anything.
online.
Any board member items?
It's not a board member item, but just for everyone in the audience, make sure you sign in because Candy wants to know our numbers.
That's true. Attendance is one of the key metrics by which cab meetings are judged. So please don't let your sacrifice go unnoted. You put in the time.
I'd like to remind everybody about the chili cook-off that we already talked about, and the people are standing outside impatiently to come in here and start setting up for so we can eat good on Saturday.
Yes, everyone, please do attend the chili cook-off on Saturday. I will be emceeing. I'm sorry. Any other board member items? No, nothing. Okay. Closing general public comment. We have one in chambers.
Evening, Carl Kopak for the record. Closing one loop on the items that were talked about at the meeting last meeting. Bill Gooch's fence, I did reach out to Marion, and she agreed that they would pay for that. I haven't made sure that Bill Gooch knows that, but they are 100% going to take care of that one. I also wish to address the government affairs folks and apologize for my stridency in my critique of the problem handling. I know everybody means well, and nobody's causing these problems intentionally. And I want to align myself with Christy in searching for solutions to these things and not just being bitter about the whole thing. And that's the mindset I wish to adopt. And again, once again, apologize from the bottom of my heart for being inappropriate. Thank you very much. And also come to the chili cook-off.
Thank you, Carl. Any other comments in chambers? Shotzi?
Member of Gerlach's community, I'd like to say happy birthday, Gerlach, not garlic, Gerlach. 1909, Gerlach was born or created or whatever you want to call it. But let's go party.
Yes, that it was what, today in 1909? This is when the railroad founded the town, and then 50 years ago this year, the community pitched in and bought the town from the railroad. So that's also something we're celebrating this year. So you have 2 slices of cake. Any more general public comment in chambers? Seeing none, any public comment online?
Pete has his hand raised.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. I have to check because someone else is doing the muting and unmuting, so I don't know if it's. Anyway, hey Carl, thank you. We heard that. We're noted that your statement just now, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Any more public comment online?
Seeing none.
Seeing none, I will hear a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Move. No.
That's a motion by Louis Garcia and a second by
Yeah.
Brandy Wilbur. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone,
Motion
for
carried.
attending. We appreciate it.
And Casey, now you know why Candy likes to come to our.
You guys are a ton of fun. I wish I could be there this Saturday for the chili cook-off.
Next time. Thanks,
Next time.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.